all I did was spend my money and get my taxes taken from my check, basically. And once I was educated on the principles of Myecon and how income shifting could change my financial situation, I looked into it, and when I got my first income shift on my paycheck, I had forgot I had even submitted my W-4 change, so I had to recalculate my hours because I was trying to figure out where all this money came from, and then I realized I had an income shift. And when I realized that, the next time I got paid and it happened again, I became a mouthpiece. I started telling everybody about income shifting because I didn't know that you could get more of your money back on your own paycheck every time you got paid. So the more I work, the more money I get back.
Before Myecon, I was living from paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have the knowledge about adjusting my W-4 form, so therefore Uncle Sam was still taking 10% of my income and I was losing. And so I was in debt, trying to find a way to become successful, running my own business, but still living from paycheck to paycheck. Since becoming a member of Myecon, 90 days in, and I am EVP Gold at this time, thanks to God, I have adjusted my W-4 form, and we have at least $400 to $500 coming back into our household each month, which we are applying to debt. We have paid off $1,000 in debt. We have cash flowed $4,000, and we have actually joined about 22 people to our team within less than 90 days. Myecon is a recipe for success, and if you're not a part of this, you need to get some information, not tomorrow, but today. Thank you.
I have met before Myecon. I had not looked at my W-4. This is a real story. I had not looked at my W-4 in over 20 years. So I had 2 kids that got married, still never looked at my W-4. Once I was introduced to these financial strategies that the wealthy use, hey, it's not a secret. All we have to do is become financial literate, learn how to apply these strategies. Since Myecon, I have cash flowed over $316 a month back into my paycheck, and cash flow cumulative in the 18 months I've been with Myecon over $100,000. So learn these financial strategies, learn how to apply them, and I promise you your life will change.
Well, I've been an entrepreneur for several years, been blessed to make a lot of money in the industry. But the one thing that happened before Myecon and after Myecon is that normally I would pay every single quarter just to keep up with my taxes and would still owe at the end of the year. After getting involved with Myecon and learning everything that I could deduct off from my taxes based on my income, based on my expenses, I was actually able this year to get back a tax return of over $6,000, where normally I end up paying about $2,000 or $3,000 every month. So that's been a big change for me right there. So that was the biggest thing for me right now, is getting back the tax return of an additional $6,000 while I normally have to pay every single year.
Life before Myecon, I'm a single mother of a 5-year-old, working sun up to sundown, every other paycheck, or paycheck to paycheck, more month than month. Since Myecon, I've cash flowed an extra $300 per month on my current job. I've started my investment fund account, and I've also started my emergency fund. I've currently been able to pay off 7 credit cards. I've upgraded my lifestyle. I was able to give my son his own room. So life has been great since Myecon.
Like before Myecon, you're looking at somebody firsthand that knows about bankruptcy, foreclosure, voluntary repossessions, bad credit, bad spending habits. After Myecon, first strategy, brought in an extra $465 a month, got my credit score up from a 528 to a 730. I'm in the process of buying a new home. I've acquired 2 new rental properties, and I actually was able to get 2 much needed vehicles for me and my wife with a low interest rate, man, and life is great.
Before Myecon, our life, we lived paycheck to paycheck. We was in debt. Not only is that, we didn't pay taxes for 10 years because I'm a nurse and he's a dietary manager, and our income combined together was between $80,000 to $90,000 a year. So before then, I was doing my taxes while I was single, and so I didn't file for like 10 years. So I was scared to file because we were making so much money, and I knew we was in another tax bracket. So I just sit them on my dresser behind my jewelry box. Anyway, I got introduced to my econ by a friend girl of mine, and I went to a tax class. And when I went to this tax class, this guy was teaching the tax class, and he was telling us about home-based businesses and the home-based business taxes. And I had been in the home-based business ever since 2005, and I didn't have a clue about the tax breaks. So when he did the class, and he was a tax professional, he ended up doing my taxes. He went 3 years back. I got $20,000 back. And the light bulb came on in my head then. Right. And my husband was always against network marketing. He was always against it. He was always riding me about doing some business. But we didn't know that by being in a home-based business and all the tax deductions, we lost all over those, all 10 years I didn't file, we probably lost about $7,000 to $8,000 a year for not filing. So I tell anybody that's, if you want to know anything about Myecon, hey, this is the place to be. This is the best business I've been in. And since then, we have cash flowed over $25,000 last year. This year, we have cash flowed over $25,000 this year. And also, I gave myself a pay raise. I'm a nurse as well. So my check, $500 pay raise every pay period. And he gave himself a pay raise as well. So that is our story. We're sticking with it, and we love Myecon.
Myecon go.
Okay, so before joining Myecon, I just was, a single mom of 3, going to work every day, and I found myself always needing to make a little bit extra, and I found myself in between jobs, and things got a little critical for me financially, and I found myself facing foreclosure at my home, and I was in other businesses trying to make things work, but it just wasn't quite hitting the way I expected it to. So a friend of mine told me I should take a look at something. And I told her, quite honestly, I'm not interested in looking at nothing else. I'm burnt out. I just don't want to do it. She said, sis, I really need you to take a look at this. So I took a look at it, and I said, you know something? I need to do this because right now I'm critical. Things are critical in my home. I'm getting foreclosure notices. The sheriff even came to my house. Well, I joined Myecon, I did my income shifting, and within my first 6 weeks of business, I made over $4,600 and was able to take that money, add it to what I already had, and paid $9,500 to my mortgage company and stopped my foreclosure. So Myecon rescued me. It saved my life. And ever since then, I have just been telling everybody I know about the power of this little hidden gem that still so many people don't know about. So if you're not in Myecon, you need to get in Myecon, because I can promise you, even though you may not actually be in it, you're in it. You're just not really in Myecon, all right? So I just want to encourage you that if I can do it, if you're facing a hardship, if you're facing a crisis, if you know somebody who is facing a crisis, this is the company you need to pair yourself up with, because like it rescued me, I'm certain, I'm confident it can rescue you too.
Well, let me tell you, I've been in Myecon for almost 3 years. And before Myecon, I was in the military, and I was the human resource person in the military. So I basically helped my soldiers complete the Form W-4 and get knowledge, to make sure. But I didn't have any idea what I was doing when I was talking to those soldiers and teaching them basically how to income shift, but I wasn't teaching them the right thing. When I retired from the military and I found out about Myecon, I changed my W-4. I put almost $700 back in my paycheck, my husband and I together, every month. Since I've been in Myecon, we have cash flowed over $100,000. And I'm telling you, all you got to do is use the strategies, all the strategies with Myecon. Change your Form W-4, eliminate that debt, use that money to invest in your financial freedom years. And I'm telling you, it's really that easy.